I'm here. How you doing, Stitch? How you doing? Thanks for tuning on. Thank you. I was a bit afraid that I scheduled the live stream a bit wrong. The reason for that being is because I've been playing today with the scheduling in YouTube for live streams. As I have some plans going forward with live streams. It actually, it's I like it so much basically that I want to do daily live streams. Besides, of course, the lightsaber commissions where we're gonna talk about today, but I really want to have a live stream on the daily basis because I really feel it's much more enjoyment to just have chit chats with you guys and talk about all kinds of cool stuff. Hey, how you doing? Regarding Star Wars and lightsabers and model kits and whatnot. That I really enjoyed. So there's a few things for the live streams that we're gonna change. So the webcam, there will be a massive improvement, a lighting as well, backdrop as well, but that will be after next week when I'm in Holland, where I can really kick off that. There's also a few equipment that I'm gonna get for the live streams. And we'll go into that later because that's more technical stuff that's not really of interest for you guys probably. So yeah, we're gonna do daily live streams during the weekdays, and then of course we do live streams for the commissions as well. So today I wanted to dedicate this live stream towards the commissions that I'm gonna do for lightsabers, because I've been reasonable active lately on the Facebook groups regarding my intentions of getting into the space of custom, installing lightsabers for people as commissions, and over time, of course, ask a commission fee for that to earn some money, so I can put that back into the channel, get more lightsabers to review, etc., 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 to grow a bit there in a way that I financially can keep doing it, of course, because the custom lightsaber collecting space is super expensive. So anyway, yes, Holland, really excited. The whole family, we're so nervous. So this Saturday we're gonna move back to Holland. We're more or less completely done. It takes a day to get there. It's an 11-hour flight, and then as soon as I'm there, the following day I'm gonna start continuing with the live streams, unbox the stuff that we have there, and I can start doing the model kit work. I can start doing some builds for my lightsabers and whatnot. Um, so it will be a lot of stuff, but of course I also have to search for a job. I do have to do family related stuff. I need to do all kinds of paperwork. So I will be busy during the days, but I still have at least 1-2 hours a day to dedicate continuously on the YouTube channel, because I really want to really focus my time going forward, as I said, to the YouTube channel. So really spend a lot more time, instead of playing video games or watching TV or just browsing the internet, using that time that I have spare, besides taking care of my family or working, is dedicated to just continuously be productive with the YouTube channel, with the stuff that we're going to do. So regarding the custom lightsaber build, so I'm going to delve really into it a bit today, a bit more technical, because I get a lot of questions about from people saying, when are you going to start, why are you doing it this way, why are you already coming with a business plan while you don't have any builds. I'm going to get into that right now. So first thing first, so why am I already active on the many Facebook groups regarding my business plan? Well, I'm not having built any lightsabers myself. I didn't show any work, and there's a few reasons for that, and I'm gonna explain that. So hopefully you guys understand where I come from, what is the reason from my point of view, and yeah, and I'm still open for feedback and criticism and whatever in between. So here we go. So the reason why I already come up with my business plan, and I will show you guys in a moment. So let me go to my business plan. So going to another page. So I'm working on this. This is a 9-page document. It's not done yet, and there's still a lot of stuff to do. This is publicly available for everybody. It's posted in the Vault, the Elite Lightsaber group, and I believe another few groups. So everybody can jump on it, look into it. I will share the link as well in the chat now. So anybody who just wanna take a look at this and wanna see like what is Rebel Chump, what is his intentions, how we want to run the business, etc. Let me just let me just do this one. It's a bit nicer. Give me a second. So this is the link to that business plan that I have. It's far from done. It's far from done. But the reason why I'm doing this already before even getting to the space of doing lightsaber commissions is a few things. One, I'm dedicated to get into it, so it's gonna happen. I'm going into it no matter what. I'm gonna venture in doing lightsaber commissions for people. That is I've set my mind. I'm set it in stone, and I'm gonna move into that space. Yawn. Thanks, Nicholas. So I am showing by already showing that I have a business plan, I'm working on it, that I'm dedicated going to that space regardless. That is just the intent, and it's gonna happen. Now, the reason why I'm coming with a business plan well in advance is because it doesn't happen overnight to write out a good business plan. It's not something you just write up in 5 minutes. I leverage on a lot of people in the community to give their experiences based on their commissions they had with other lightsaber smiths, or their lightsaber smiths themselves, or lightsaber companies. I'm expecting their feedback, and they do give already quite a bit of feedback regarding your document, or like the stuff that is written in here. For example, how I operate, how I'm intend to do these live streams, and how I intend to do the lightsaber builds, etc. A lot of stuff, liability, risks, financial risk, everything I'm gonna type out in this document, and everybody that is going to do a commission with me have to commit to this as well from their end. So we both commit to a mutual agreement that yes, you can do a lightsaber commission with me, but these are, oh, my wife is shining a lot of light in my face. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Two people next to me. Give me a second. Regain. Okay, so yeah, so when people are going to commit with me to do a commission, it's documented. Everything is in there. And I'm open to the community. I'm telling everybody now, hey, listen, I'm gonna do these commissions. Give me your experiences. What should I change in this document? What you think would be safer? What would be more making more sense? What would be better or worse? Because I feel like, from the research I've done, no other sabersmith actually have documentation for their commissions with their clients. None of them. None of them has clear-cut documentation that shows this is your responsibility, this is my responsibility, I have this and this and this in place. Nothing of that. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm a bit anal with that kind of stuff. I come from an IT background, where I have managed a team, where I run a lot of different projects, where I have to basically be a project manager from start to finish, and then you have to prepare the project, etc., who's doing what, and etc., the costs, risk assessment, all the things. So I want to prepare myself. I want to show everybody I'm going to do this. Why I'm showing everybody why I'm going to do this? Because I'm on YouTube. I make YouTube videos. In the lightsaber community, quite a few people recognize me, at least by the face. So they know, okay, this guy is gonna do lightsaber commissions. That is his intent. So I'm a bit of a higher tree than some people that just start their own business low key and then just start doing commissions. I can't just do that because people already recognize me. So I need to say, okay, guys, I'm gonna get into the space of lightsaber commissions, and there will be a lot of wins because, you know, a little bit higher tree, right? More people that recognize me. So from that point of view, I want to get all the criticisms out of the way, all the feedback that people have. I got some really good criticism and feedback, which I'm am addressing, to ensure that there's just less chance that, well, there will be always people that will kick the tree, right? There will be complaints. There will be people that will not be happy with me getting into the space of custom lightsaber building. There will be criticism. Not everybody will be happy with that. Not everybody will like that. Not everybody like me. No, not everybody like my videos. And so because of that, I want to have as a waterproof system as possible. So if people have a hidden agenda, or they just want to try to derail my stuff or whatever, like, there's a lot of dramas in the lightsaber community, right? So I'm going to be very open about that. I want to minimize that as much as possible by being as open as possible and showcasing everything I'm doing and how I'm doing it and the liabilities and risks, like showing that I mean it. I'm here in for a serious way of doing these commissions, and I'm gonna treat it as a business, and that's why I'm doing it in this way. So yes, there you go, guys. That's why I am showing everything well in advance, because it takes a long time to prepare, and I feel that I got some feedback from people saying, well, first you should get the skill sets and then you can think about doing the commissions, which is true. But a lot of the low-key installers, they just start with no experience and they take in commissions. Now, is it my fault that I'm on YouTube? Absolutely. I'm there on YouTube out about with my face. Everybody knows me, right? That is my choice. It's my thing. So from that point of view, I understand the criticism that I need to represent a certain amount for the hobby and etc. Because I make all these videos, so I want to be showing the lightsaber community and the lightsaber hobby as a whole as best as I can, because I also on YouTube. So that's also the reason. And in general, I feel like having the skill sets is super important. But a lot of these sabersmiths, like now mentioned in the chat, is Jordan Mall, Jordan Eugene. They have been delivering for the longest time really good quality work. Like Jordan Mall have done good jobs. He did good installs. Same with Jordan Eugene. He's a master. They had the skill set, but they didn't have the proper business aspects fully working as it intended to be. It did run for a long time, worked perfectly fine, and at some point it went all off the cliff. And that is why I'm focusing on the business aspects, because I feel I have prior experiences with it in the saber community, and from my work point of view in IT, where I have to always do it in this way, very elaborate, all documented. At IT, everything is documented, at least in my environments where I work. It's all in banking, etc. So you have to work with a lot of documentation. You need to have everything well documented, otherwise that project won't pass, or that whatever I'm working on in that time frame. So I feel comfortable with to work with on that level, but of course it must be aligned with the saber community and the sabersmiths and installers from that point of view, if it makes sense or not. So that's why I'm so early with that, because regardless, I going into that space of saber commissioning. The skill sets truly important, absolutely, if not equally important. Without the skill sets, you won't make any business. So of course that is a separate thing I'm gonna work hard on. I won't take up any commissions before I have the skill sets on par. So that is also a concern for some people. I already said that before. I'm not going to take up any commissions till I actually have the skill sets. Some people suggested, well, you should not even do any commissions on other people's properties, even at no commission fee, because it's not yours. And I understand that. So I took that criticism up, and I'm going to purchase a whole bunch of lightsabers myself that I'm going to install and then showcase to everybody my work, and then do that more and more till there's a whole bunch of lightsabers built by me with all kinds of setups, and then going into the commissions once the community say, well, that looks properly enough. Yeah. I got some commission. Sorry, Nicholas says so Nicholas says a really good thing. He says, first of all, don't bite more than you can chew on. Is take the amount of commissions that you can actually do without getting burned out. Yes, absolutely. So to that point, there's two reasons to that for me, how I want to structure that. One is this document. This is just a disclaimer document for everybody to read. If you're a potential client or just interested, or you're an other sabersmith that just want to start up himself, you can use my documentation, alter it of course enough that it's not like a blatant copy of my work, because but if you want to, and maybe some sabersmiths will still insist that they don't need it, which is fine, but over time I really will advertise, look, you need this. Why do I need this? Because it also shows what I can do and what I cannot do, and that is going into the point of overburdening myself with too much commission. So I will explicitly tell in this document what is my skill set, what can I work on, what I can't, what can I not touch, what kind of technology or sabers or brands I cannot work with, and the reason why. So I will explain that. So that's one part. Second part is the calendar. I will have a public calendar. I don't know if I can already share that. Probably yes. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to do that. Give me a second. I have a public calendar. Settings for sharing. Oh, here. Yes. Okay. Get shareable link. Copy link. So this is my. Let me share the screen. So you guys can, anybody that watched this online or offline, can look into it already. The reason why I have a public calendar, and that's exactly what Nicholas refers to, is my availability. I need to be very realistic about when I'm available and when not, and it all comes down to basically, well, I have a family, I have kids to take care of, I have a full-time day job, and that will take a whole bunch of time. So I will actually show when I have available time slots, like very realistic time slots, not just like, I do it today or tomorrow. No, if you're going to do a commission with me, you know exactly what the time slots available are, because they will be in this public calendar. Everybody can see it. They know how many commissions I have on hand in that week or that day or that month, and decide if they want to go ahead with me to have that commission in that month or not. Or they say maybe wait a month if my calendar is full, or they say, you know what, I need to have this commission done by next month. I just go to another sabersmith, no harm done, no financial obligations from my end or your end for this commission, because we didn't commit yet. So with this calendar you can see when I have my personal appointments, when I'm sick. I always update it just like a work calendar. I treat this exactly like how I treat it at my work. When is my lunchtime, when is what I'm doing, when are my live streams. Like I make YouTube videos as well, so I need to be realistic when I make the live streams, because all of that stuff together have influence on my availability. So that is how I'm gonna do that. So people know exactly what is being done when is which commission is going to happen, and I can easily track the time slots myself. Other people can see it at the same time. I feel that is the best way to actually share and update commission dates and quotas. So when the calendar is full, the calendar is full. There's nothing else to it. The quota is full. Like if I have one commission in a day or two commission in a day, that's it. There's the time slots are full. There's no other space. So it's for everybody very easy to see what are my my waiting list, what are the quotas, how long it will take. It's that simple. And it's my obligation, of course, to keep updating it on the daily basis so everybody can see it. So if I'm sick that day, I update the calendar. If I have a personal thing with the family that day, let's say nothing is scheduled for that day as a commission, but that day, for example, I'm out with the family to Disneyland. I just say then, calendar is booked out. You guys know that. You can see it in the calendar. Okay, he's off today. just like work. I'm gonna treat this like a work situation because it's a business, right? So that is one thing I also noticed. Probably maybe some other sabersmiths do that, but I didn't see anybody doing that yet. So it's really easy. This is a Google shared calendar, and I think it worked great. I can share a lot of stuff through it, and it's online documented and whatnot. So when I'm a bit ahead of myself, but I just give an example how I'm gonna do the business. So from Monday till Friday, from Monday till Thursday, I will have a full-time day job where I work 9 hours a day. The gray sections here show what are the working hours. The blue here means shipping time windows available, where my wife will help me to ship out your saber commission, for example. And then during my lunchtime, I will have the 1 hour lunchtime to eat, but also to email and reply to emails, the communication. So there will be two communication windows per day, both shown in green, where I will be responding to emails from clients about their commissions, about inquiries and whatnot. Very specific time frames, easy to know when I will be up and doing my communication, so you don't have to wonder during what time of the day I will be doing what. The time zones are in there as well, so everybody can see, okay, this guy is in the Netherlands, he's in this time zone that is now, it's like 4 a.m. in the morning for my country, so he's probably now working, but for me it's, of course, from my point of view, it's 12 p.m. in the afternoon in Netherlands, but for you it's maybe 3 a.m. in the morning. So you have an idea like when to schedule sending your email or whatnot. So I feel like I want to make it very clear when the communication is, when the projects are, when the commissions are happening, and update the schedule, and everybody can see it. And even if you're not interested in doing a commission with me, no worries, Nicholas, thank you. Well, we see how this evolves. So yeah, thank you. So I really want to have an open workspace, and when a commission is scheduled in this calendar, you can actually follow it on the live stream. It will be live streamed from A to C. Some people say, well, you don't need to do the live stream, and they say, well, you can just do a recap, or it's not necessary. I do think it's necessary, and I love to do it because I do like the live stream. I am a YouTube video maker as well, so I do feel like making these live streams of every build is a value that I want to add to my builds. I want to give something different than some other sabersmiths, some different services. Free of charge, of course, but they're just part of how I operate. And some other sabersmiths have very different extras, things, or different ways of doing it. So I feel like having different flavors to choose from. One sabersmith does it this way, another sabersmith does it that way. There's no right or wrong. You can just pick and choose what fits with your preferences. So if, for example, the way how I work is not your preference, then there's a lot of sabersmiths out there that have a different way that might suit your needs. So that being said, that is one part. Give me 1 second. 1 second, I'll run to the toilet really quick. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, I just remembered something for the live stream going forward. I need to have like a bathroom break, like little page or with music coming in, so you guys know that I'm actually gone to the toilet for a second or something when I have longer live streams. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like one thing I have to do as a person that is just having some certain not I wouldn't say influence, but I'm on YouTube, and because I'm on YouTube, some people know me, or at least a dozen people know me. I also know because in the past there either were YouTubers that started to do sabersmithing, or sabersmiths that leveraged on YouTube to grow their audience for their commissions. I fall in that exact same category, and because I'm in that category, it's a bit more of a risk category. That's period it. Because we look at Jordan Mall, we look at Jordan Eugene. I'm sorry, I have to keep saying his name. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic. From all the conversation I had with him in the past, fantastic guy. I can't say much about him now, but my experience with him was very good, and his work is excellent. It's just, yeah, the all the events together is very unfortunate. But I keep him as an example because he was also active on the YouTube space, like some other sabersmiths, and it helps with the popularity or growing the audience that might want to have to do a commission with me. So from that point of view, I totally understand that where it all went wrong in the past, I want to be as transparent as I can. So having the public calendar, having a very clear-cut, fully understandable and readable agreement, and I'm going so far that one thing I have to work out, I have to create a properly legal document, but there will be a contract as well. This is just the documentation for everybody to read into how I operate, what is the liabilities that I have, what I don't take, etc. And there will be a contract where we have a mutual agreement about a certain installation or commission. We have it planned out. It's like a project plan. We have in there the estimated installation costs. Let's say the engineering time that it costs me to do such an installation. If I charge you for 2 hours of labor, that's what you pay. If I do 3 hours of labor, then you don't pay an extra hour. Because that is something I also noticed some sabersmiths, they just come back and say, oh, yeah, unfortunately it took me half an hour longer and 1 hour longer. Can you pay up another 50 or $100 extra? Something like that. So I don't want to have that. You have a full understanding when you commit to an install with me, what you get, etc., the risks, etc., etc. Because we need to have this all documented. There's so many gray areas, so many unknowns basically. It's just mouth-to-mouth agreements via an email or a Facebook chat with a sabersmith, and it's just, you have nothing much going on. There's not much binding between that. And then, yo, what's up, guys? I'm gonna answer your questions in a short bit. So this document will cover a lot of that, and I'm still working on it. And I'm asking as much people to look into it, give feedback, and say, hey, I wrote this in your document. How does this work? You need to elaborate on this or that. So it includes, for example, like if I mess up your lightsaber build, like you hilt, I scratch it up, I break a piece of it, or I install a soundboard and I fry the soundboard, that I'm like financially liable to compensate you to have either the hilt replaced or the parts replaced and have it either reinstalled under my time for free, or if it's a second-hand soundboard that you bought from somewhere on the internet, that I can't just take the liability of it, for example, things like that. Or like if I get a fire in my house, does my insurance company is covering that? Like, is it gonna cover your lightsaber loss if there's like $1,000 worth of equipment from you in my house, like a lightsaber with all the electronics? Is that being covered by an actual insurance? A lot of saber company, like sabersmiths, don't even mention anything of that, and a lot of people don't even ask for that. So that is another thing. Like, there's a lot of oversights that we need to have explained. Like, we need to get fully into it, because we're talking about commissions of several $100 each. And getting to that point of $700 per lightsaber commission, I am doing the business in the following way, and that's going to be completely different than I think any other sabersmith in the industry is. And I got some negative feedback about that and some comments on that, and I'm still working out the kinks for that, but I'm gonna work in this way. So the client is going to buy all the parts. I am going to help you as the client to get all the parts purchased. So it's your money. You order the parts with the custom saber shop or with KR Sabers or any company that you want to buy the hilt from, the electronics from, etc. It all being shipped from those companies to you, from Saberforge, whatever. It's shipped to you. You get all the equipment that I list out to you that you should get for that particular build that you have for mind. The soundboards, the LEDs, the bits, the LED units, the chassis. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, by the way. All those parts. Why do I do it this way? Because the financial liability, it's such an important part. A lot of people just go from the point of convenience. They don't want to have to deal with all of that. I understand, but it has been going wrong so many times, and there's no guarantee it won't go wrong again with even people that are very well known in the community and do great jobs. There is no guarantee for past achievements for the future, right? So if they do something really great now, it doesn't say anything about the future. Like, look at Jordan Mall, look at Jordan Eugene. It went fantastically well for them, and then it stacked up. Everything stacked up. They were purchasing individual parts for their clients because they took the whole commission for themselves, right? For their clients. So okay, you give me $500 for this commission. I order the hilt from Saberforge. I order the parts from the custom saber shop. And what happened every time? The parts are out of stock. There's a delay. The hilt is not in stock. And then as the sabersmith, you have to go back and forth with the client, update the client, and then you get the communication, where the communication becomes really difficult because you need to constantly update the client. But you also have other clients because you also do other commissions, and they also order parts from you from another saber shop, and then you have to do the communication with all these vendors and saber shops as well, and you own the money of those clients. So easily like 5 clients in a month times $500. That's a lot of money in my hands from you guys. So I don't want that. I want you to own that money at all times. So you order the parts, you know the lead times, the delays, everything is first hand. You get that information. So like, oh shit, Saberforce doesn't have the hilt in order. I need to wait 3 months. Well, at least that money is still with you, between you and Saberforge. So you have that money is with you. So yes, guys, I will mention that in a bit. I get to that in a short bit. So I want to have the freedom with the client. So the client order all the parts on behalf of himself, for himself. That is the main point. If for whatever reason I get sick, I die, I whatever, you never know what happens in this hobby, right? There can be anything. I can't look in a glass ball. Whatever reason happens, I can't do your commission. Well, at least you still have all the parts. You have your hilt. It's all with you. You can decide to go to any other sabersmith. You can go to Shamim. You can go to whoever you want. You say, hey, I was supposed to do a commission with Rebelchumps, but his calendar is always full, or I need to have it by this month because it's my birthday and I just got that Saberforce hilt after 3 months and I need it now. At least you have that option. Then it's all with you. You keep the parts. The only section when we have that moment where I am responsible for your lightsaber and all the parts is when the lightsaber is being shipped to me and shipped back to you. And for that, even in my document, I show that I am not taking any lightsaber shipments if, for example, it's not, if there's no signature. Like, I will not accept shipments that are no signature. I want to have the sender and receiver sign for the receipt of the entire box with lightsaber parts or the full done commission, because I want have that legal signed document for both ends, for protection from my side and for your side, because sometimes mail get lost, mail gets stolen. We need to have that signature, period. But I leave the client to decide if they want to have the insurance or not, and the height of the insurance, because there's a cost associated with it. Again, the client is going to pay for the shipping in both ways. So that is how I want. I want to have the client the full the full coverage about the shipment, so they can decide. They want to have very cheap shipments with some risk, or they want to have like fully insured shipment. That is, I leave that up to the client. The cost association is different, but I'll let the client decide on their own decision what they want. And I feel like that gives them extra flexibility. It gives them extra flexibility financially as well, but also it gives them the control about their money. Like, I'm not in control of your money that is being shipped back and forth. I let you have that control. I'm not want to be lazy, but I just want to give the client as much financial safety as possible, because I can ship it out and then maybe I mess it up, then you lose your lightsaber or it gets stolen or whatever. So that extra bit of financial security for the client, I feel, is gonna be very important. So a lot of stuff, yes. It will be a bit overwhelming in the beginning. So I will make this is the full document, and I will make a simplified document as well. So just give the highlights, but it will be all referred to this document, excuse me. And then what happened is, I received the box with your lightsabers, I install it, and then it's my responsibility. In the documentation it shows exactly what are all my responsibilities, because I'm gonna build your lightsaber, and it's gonna be a battery inside, and I don't want to have any fire hazard from my end, a board that I fried, an LED that I fried, or whatever. How gonna compensate that to you? Everything, it's gonna be in this document, because I want you to fully understand that I'm not here to just do a nice side job and get some extra dollars on the side, and then not take any responsibility, or take responsibility when it suits me. It's a two-way thing, and I just need to do it as professional as I can in my mind. Even if I do one commission a year, you guys only decide to go for me for once a year, then even then I will have everything well documented, and I feel comfortable with it, you feel comfortable with it. And again, if it's too much for a person that sees this and you think, wow, I don't need all of this, I just want to have a lightsaber commission, I just send it to person A or B, you can do that. But if it backfires you, then at least I can say, you see, you might have considered what I have here in place. It's a bit overwhelming, a bit complex, but it's gonna warrant a lot of things in advances of the client and their money, because it goes wrong a lot of times. It's done by people, like it's a one-on-one relationship between me and you to do the commission, and I have my life, like as I said, my full-time day job, my children, my wife, whatever comes in between, sick. It has to be documented. It has to be an open workspace. That's why the live streams, etc. So hopefully that in a nutshell gives a bit of an idea why I'm talking already about this whole business well and not having anything to show for, is because I'm committed to it, and I need to understand the full range of the responsibilities on my end and how I need to now properly do it from the get-go. I don't want to learn it. Well, actually, I have to. No, I going through the ropes of developing full-on proper skill sets for the actual commissions. But if I have to do that for the business side as well, and that's where every time goes wrong. Like, it's just the communication is shit, or it's not clear when a commission is done, or a time frame is not done, or etc. And also that's I saw it in the chat just a second ago about the timelines. Because you're going to order all the parts yourself, those time frames, because it won't be that fast, right? You cannot expect a Alta Saber. Well, maybe nowadays it's a bit faster. But if you order like a KR Sabers empty hilt, or a Saber Force empty hilt, or whatnot, and the parts from the custom saber shop, and some parts maybe from Shamim, like a tactile switch or whatever you want for your commission, right? We can discuss that. There are lead times for that. Those lead times are with you. So we're distracting that from the whole commission, because what I'm going to do with you is just a commission. I'm a commission guy. I'm the saber installer, basically. So I'm going to do the commission, and that's going to shorten the lead times dramatically, just to the shipping and then the commission in between. So shipping 1 week from your house to my house, I do the commission 1 day, 2 days, ship it out, next week is your due, then the commission can be shortened to maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks max, and then that's the whole time frame for the commission timeline. That's it. Then we're done between us. We get the parts, I get the parts, all the parts that we talked about, start the commission, you only pay for the labor, because there's nothing else to it. You don't have to pay me the parts, I don't upsell the parts, like I'm not adding extra money to the parts. I'm not selling you a Profi boards for $120. No, you buy the Profi board. If you buy that Profi board discounted from who knows like that, from $40, then you can have your lightsaber built even cheaper, because I'm not here to make money off the parts and the hilts, etc. I just ask a fair commission fee for the actual labor. I mean, that I think that's a fair enough, right? So that's the only thing I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna upsell stuff. I'm not gonna yeah. So I leave that to the clients to source their products in the way they want. If they want to have a whatever soundboard in there, then and they can source it somewhere else for them, then they can condense the cost of that build as well. You don't even have, you can also think like this, like even if you want to have a commission with me next year, for example, you can already start to collect the bits and pieces. Like you can already buy the second-hand hilt somewhere, just the empty hilt, then you buy the speaker next month or 3 months later. No, it depends on your financial flow and your availability on the financial level, that you build up those collection of stuff that we need for the commission. And whenever you're ready and you have the parts, then you can send it. So you can also have that financial flexibility. You don't have to cough up $500-600 in one time for all the hardware and the pieces required. No, you do it over time. So it's an investment that you make for your lightsaber that doesn't come in 1 month, and you can take a whole year for that, from my part of view. Because for me, what only is going to matter is when I'm actually get the full part list, I check it, make sure it's okay, then you ship it to me, and then we schedule it in the calendar when the calendar is free. And because the lead times are just the commissions in themselves, I don't have to wait for the parts, etc. That turnaround rate is going to be a lot faster. So yeah, that, I mean, I don't have, you don't have the obligation with me to go through this whole commission when you feel like, oh, I got all the parts ready. But yeah, this month is a bit tough, a bit shit. I can't pay for the commission. You know what? Let's move the commission to another period, because the only obligation you will have with me is when you commit to the commission, we mutually agree for the agreement, then you pay me for the full shipping costs in both directions, the estimated quoted man hours or man time that I quote for that install, and that's it. And then that's all to it. And then I just go, we agree with that, I go ahead with that install, get it done, ship it back to you, and you have your hilt. So, whew. This adventure will start after you move. Yes, I'm moving back out of Hong Kong this Saturday, and will be back available Monday. The first week in July, you guys have to forgive me, it will be just too busy for me doing all the family stuff. So once that is done, I'm getting into this. That's where I'm gonna start these lightsabers, because I need to get some experience, right? I can't just start doing your guys' lightsabers without any experience. Even if I'm gonna start off doing the commissions at no commission fee for you guys, because even if I'm going through all these lightsabers installing for myself, once I'm gonna start with the actual commission for you guys, there will be a period of time where I can't just ask any commission fee, because I'm still in the learning phase, in that learning process. And it wouldn't make sense for me to already start asking money at that stage. So I need to get my hands on a whole bunch of lightsabers to actually build myself first, because I need to build up a portfolio. I need to showcase different hilts, different installs to you guys, like to have like an idea that before you commit, what did he do in the past? How does it look? all those builds also again will be done on stream. I will make pictures of the chassis and the wires, etc. I will showcase the entire hilt. I do the reviews on the YouTube channel, the reviews, the overview videos. So the lightsabers will always come back on my YouTube channel several times, because it ties in to the way I'm gonna do business, is that I'm just gonna show, yes, this is my work, this is done for this commission. I'm just gonna showcase that all of the builds, I'm not gonna do a build and then just have that going under the radar. I feel like it's cooler and more interesting if it's all done with a video, with a live stream. It just, in my personal opinion, it adds a little bit of a background to that install. So people can see, okay, it was installed this and this date. This is the actual build live stream. I can see how he did it. If somebody else messes it up after me, at least I can say, hey, that's not done by me. Somebody tampered with me. Check my live stream. That build number 110 was done during that live stream. There's no part of that in there. There's no different bits and pieces now. There's no gaffer tape there. So there's also a little bit protection for me, because sometimes it happens where a good smith installs something, it goes to a shitty smith and they just butcher it, and then people think it's the good smith that did the shitty work, which is not the case. So that's a little bit of protection for my own work as well. And it's just kind of neat, I think, that 5 years and down the road you can see that build was done by Jeroen, Rebelchumps, blah blah blah. So anyway, let me get to your comments a little bit, because you guys said a lot of stuff and I kind of ignored you guys. Munda says that's very good, very transparent. Yeah, that is the goal for me. I want to be completely transparent, and on that note, I also used against my will, but I understand my real name on my Facebook account again. I will not accept any friends request. I'm sorry. I just want to keep a bit of a privacy for my family, but to make it legit, that I'm actually the person doing it and I'm not having like alias names, etc., which makes sense. I'm using my real name on Facebook. Not happy with it, but understandable. But of course, that is just a choice that I make. I want to venture in this commission stuff, so I need to do that properly. So transparency, yes, definitely. Yo Otto, what's up, gang? If you don't know gang, we in paintball they say that a lot, gang. I don't know, it's like slang. Anyway, Fruit. Oh yeah, you asked that. I saw your premiere, so there will be a Paxtor Dueler V2 with Profi board and NeoPixel. Yes, there will be in due time. More details will follow when the video is near to be released. Some videos I just schedule, right, guys? I need to schedule videos over time. And once I'm in Holland, there will be a lot of schedules. I'm gonna make sure that you guys don't get overburdened. But I think it's kind of neat that you can see what is coming up in the next few months, etc. Then, so yeah. Anyway, that will come up. Day one, Grace says, awesome ideas. Thank you. Yes. So again, the reason why I'm gonna do this in this way is because I'm on YouTube. People have certain ideas and mindset about either YouTubers doing lightsaber commissions or lightsabers commissions being done by me, because understandably some people won't dislike me, my YouTube videos, my YouTube content, whatever. That's what it is. That's the thing. Everybody have a choice, and that's fine. So I want to make sure that at least everything I'm gonna do is basically trying to get out the wind out of their hot air. Basically, I'm a higher tree, right? So I feel like a YouTuber by choice. You're a bit of a higher tree, you get more wind, and I try to have that wind a little bit weakened out by having everything laid out. Like, I'm open here. There's no secret. You can see everything. You can see how much I charge, etc. Everybody can see it, and again, not everybody will be happy that I'm going into this space of doing custom lightsaber commissions as well, because they either are sabersmiths themselves or they have, I don't know, they just don't like it. And I mean, they're free to have that that thing, of course. So I just need to make sure that I do everything correctly. That is the baseline. I want to represent, as many people, of course, do the lightsaber community in the best extent. And I need to learn to do it as good as possible, and need to do it as good as possible, and not learn on the job as much as I can, if where I can, basically, I should say. And I will be completely honest as well. I will be completely junior when I start doing this. I will be complete junior, and everybody that knows will do commissions with me know from past videos, from past live streams, they know exactly where they're going into with me, because they will be able to see that. They will be able to see my progression, etc. And again, I'm gonna be very open with that, and I feel like I have to do that at the same time as well in the community. Um, Jake says that will bring a skill to the channel. No Sabersmith have done that before live stream everything install. I think this strategy will eventually and direct make you the most trusted installer in the community. Well, I'm actually not the first one, of course. There's installs done on live by Shamim, etc. So I'm not gonna claim I'm the first, but I'm gonna do it on for every stream, because I feel like it just makes sense for me as a person that likes to make YouTube videos and live streams to actually do that. It costs me no extra effort, and I mean, yes, people will see how long I will do about the actual installation. Maybe the installation only takes 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So be it. I mean, it also have to do experience, right? Getting to that point, like maybe the first times that I'm gonna install a profit board is gonna take me 3 hours. That might over time go to 1 hour. I just say something hypothetical, and it might be that some Sabersmith charge 2-3 hours for that. Well, I only charge 1 hour for it, and everybody can see it on the live stream. That doesn't mean that I per se undercut the other lightsaber smiths by charging less, or maybe if my skill sets are I'm slower in work, then I maybe do longer about it. Then of course I will look at other sabersmiths, say okay, they charge 2 hours, I do 3 hours about it, then I just charge you 2 hours. So to be honest, like, just, I mean, I'm not here to pull your money out of your wallets and come with bullshit stuff. So that's why I do it live stream. And if it's like realistically without your like for your expectation it takes a day, but realistically only takes an hour, then it takes an hour. You can see it, and you will be charged for that. I feel that makes much more sense, and it ties into my YouTube channel as well, and the way I like to make videos, and yeah, I feel that this is just more suiting for me. Again, not everybody that's gonna be that's a sabersmith or saber companies feel the same, because I'm a bit of a weird boy. I'm just different. I just think different, and I have different ideas, and just give a different flavor, different option. And you don't have to like this option or flavor. There's a lot of sabersmiths out there, saber companies to choose from. So it's not like I'm trying to catch all and get all the business, like, because I want to do 100 lightsaber commissions a month. No. That's I don't think that will ever happen. And because I work in this specific way, yeah, I give you options. It's I really look also to the tattoo parlor way of doing, like how tattoo artists are working, how they do the labor houring, like you pay for 1 hour, like you sit there 1 hour and you pay for this amount because of based on their skill sets, the time they take to work on the tattoo piece, etc. And yeah, I'm trying to learn on those levels as well, like how I want to do it. And because you like do a tattoo, you're live there, you see what's going on, like you see the actual work, and that's how I want to treat doing these lightsaber commissions as well. I feel like I want to be influenced by this type of yeah, just different way of doing it. I like that. I gonna consider it more like going to the tattoo shop, and you get your piece done and you can see it. And I don't know, I just want to have something that it clicks with me, and I think that's also financially a big risk restrainer for both the client and myself, to make it comfortable, convenient, and convenience. Maybe a little bit less convenience for the client, because if a client just want to have it all done by somebody they trust, and they just like, yeah, just do it for me, $500-700, install that core band Graflex for me. I pay you in one time, you just take care of it. I know that there's other sabersmiths that can do it for you, but for that extra little time that you're gonna spend, I feel like financially it's gonna be a lot better risk-wise to mitigate the risk. Anyway, more questions. Jake says, like you said, Sumim has live streamed a few, but if you live stream all, you can expand massively. Yeah, that is one thing that's kind of cool, of course, to do to help to grow the YouTube channel, of course, because yeah, I hope over time it can grow. That would definitely be a very important factor as well. The reason also for being that I want to be able to review more and more lightsabers. And by doing these skill missions, you guys actually gonna allow me to review your lightsaber as well. So it's gonna improve the flow of lightsaber reviews coming to the channel, and financially it will have just less burden on me, because the lightsabers are just too expensive for one person to keep buying. Unless you have a very wealthy background, then it's not of an issue for you. But most people like us, most cases, have a normal regular daytime job. We have a family. We can't spend $2,000-3,000 a month to make lightsaber reviews. It's just such an insane expensive hobby, basically. So that's honestly also a very big reason for me to get into this space. And yeah, I'm open about that. So I really want this YouTube to grow, of course, because I spent quite a bit of time and investment since 2015 in there to yeah, share information, share content, live streams and reviews, and I really enjoy it. It's a hobby on its own for me. It truly is a hobby on its own for me, and I just enjoy to do it. So yeah. Sorry, the Wi-Fi keep on going out and into the weather. Oh shoot, are you in Texas, Mundo? I forgot where you were. Because the reason why I say Texas is I watched a Twitch streamer about World of Warcraft. I think I told before, his name is Asmongold, and he was telling that his internet was crapping out yesterday during his live stream because of the weather in Texas. So I was kind of curious how that works in the US, because I don't know if the wires for the internet goes above the ground like in Japan, or from these like poles, or under the ground like in Holland and Hong Kong. I don't know how that works in some places in the US. I guess it's above the ground, but I don't know. Either way, so also this is the list of the lightsabers I'm gonna start working on initially. So we got this Solo's Hold, a Shoko Tano Shoto hilt, 7 Chambers Hero, KR Sabers KRS flagship, Saberforge Dooku. I bought this second hand very recently for a good price from somebody that just had to get rid of it, and also his core band Crossguard V2. It was a bit hand weathered, so it had some crudely done weathering on the emitter sides, so we're gonna have to try to fix that. We have the Pastor Maverick. I stripped that one. I'm gonna install it with something, and the Jawa's Junkyard Mistress V hilt run, and then I need to add more lightsabers. Now I'm looking at second-hand lightsabers on the Facebook groups that are basically inexpensive. I'm looking at inexpensive lightsabers that maybe have some scratches, maybe some dents, that I can use to install all kinds of electronics. Now I'm gonna focus, as soon as I have some basic skill sets, on installing these hilts, mainly all with NeoPixel. I'm gonna focus on as much NeoPixel installs as I can, because I have a feeling the NeoPixel are the most commonly requested installs for empty hilt runs, like the 7 Chambers Heroes, the Jawa Junkyard hilts, etc. I think most people want to have those hilts installed with NeoPixel, because those empty hilts are often running more expensive, because they're limited run hilts, and they just want to have the high-end effects in them, and not per se the high-end soundboards. So I'm gonna mainly focus on Profview boards, Gold Harvest boards, which I'm gonna review very soon, and the KR Sabers Verso soundboard, because it's gonna be an excellent soundboard for me to work with as well, because it's really inexpensive. So looking for that. I'm actually going to work with a lot of KR Sabers parts because I'm based in Holland. The UK is close by. Custom KR Sabers are relatively inexpensive for parts, etc. All things considered, that ordering from the custom saber shop in the US will be way too expensive for me in terms of shipping costs. And so I'm going to build all these lightsabers myself. These will be initially my own lightsabers. Once they're built, I will put them up for sale. There will be no labor cost involved. It will be just the parts. So I will list out all the parts that I invested myself from my own pocket to make them into the setup, except the KR Sabers, because there was a donation, and the Ashoka Tano. Those I will keep in my collection. Those are mine to showcase and demonstrate. Especially the Ashoka Tano I'm very excited for, and the KR Sabers. The Tano will be my main carry piece, outdoor carry piece, and the KR flagship will be a really nice install. And then I'm gonna get more empty hilts hopefully over time. So if you guys have really inexpensive empty hilts lying around, let's say an old Alter Sabers hilt that is beat up or whatnot, I'm really looking for inexpensive lightsabers that I can use to install electronics on to keep practicing. I need all kinds of different hilt designs. I need thin neck sabers. I need basically all kinds of hilts, 7 to 8 inch blade holders, so I can learn the ropes of installing it in different dimensions, etc. And then I will put these lightsabers up for sale. I will put them up as the cost of what I purchased for those lightsabers secondhand, plus the electronics, but no installation. So it's not technically I'm not going to sell the lightsabers as a commission. I sell them as the actual hilt plus the electronics, and that it's installed. That's just a free bonus. So no people can complain that I already start selling custom lightsaber builds to customers or people. Well, it's not. I'm not obligated to start my business and selling them for money, because all I do is basically I sell it at the same price I bought it, and I consider it parts that you can buy, like the hilt with the electronics. You can use it as scrap parts or whatever, but it's already fully working installed, of course. But to just technically not, it's weird to say, but I don't want to upset people by saying I'm selling lightsabers that I'm built and then make money of it. That's not the case. I'm just selling it for the same cost I bought it, and I bought it to practice on, and then people know exactly that what they're going to buy into. I'm going to be very transparent. Hey guys, I installed this myself. This is one of my first builds. You can consider it just stripping the parts out of it if you want, but also consider it as a installed saber. And of course I will first go to the how you call that, the whiplashes of the community, showcasing my work, and I'm just going to be very detailed. I show my wiring, wire management, my actual soldering joints. I'm going to show off everything. I really want people to see and criticize my work, so I can make sure that's good when I actually start commissioning people's lightsabers. Being open and accepting the harsh criticisms, that is one thing I really need to do, basically. If I want to do good, then I just need to be open for that and just suck it up, to swallow it. Let's see. Some more questions. Let's go to the questions. Much love and respect. Thank you, man. Appreciate. Lots blah, 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 blah. Love back. I'm excited for you. Glad you're out of Hong Kong. I hope you and family enjoy your home. Yes, I'm super excited for it. My wife is also really excited to actually leave Hong Kong. She lost Hong Kong, of course, because she's born here and her family's from here. But because of the political climate and in general, Hong Kong is not that safe. It's safe at nighttime. You can walk on the streets with a pocket full of money and nobody will rob you or rape you as much. No, almost never happens in Hong Kong. It's really safe from that point of view. But what is not safe is a lot of these buildings are really high, and there's a lot of issues where people either suicide. I actually had I talked about it recently. 2 weeks ago, somebody was jumped next to the building next to me, and I saw the location where it happened. I didn't look at it, of course, but yeah, I heard it. Somebody suicided. And another thing is a lot of because the buildings are high, a lot of stuff fall down. And we had 2 incidents very short after each other. One small kid of 3 years old and one older lady were killed instantly by something that dropped from the 3rd or 5th or 10th floor, like a lightning, LED lightning, like the cool, iconical Hong Kong neon lightning. That kind of stuff drops down quite often because the maintenance here is really poor. People just spend some money, hang it up, and they never care about it after anymore. So it's, from that point of view, strange to say, but it's pretty unsafe because there's a lot of high buildings and there's a lot of crap hanging off buildings here. So yeah. Whew. Yeah, it is what it is. Delta Squad says, my donation going to be a 12 screen. Woo, nice. I mean, it doesn't have to be a donation. If you allow me to install it for free and I just ship it back, of course, no labor cost involved, that will be awesome. I'm not looking for free stuff just for free stuff. I don't want to be a scuffy a freeloader. But I'm really looking for stuff to practice on, and I definitely reaching out in my own pockets as deep as I can, try to get as much hilts as I can. I want to get different hilts, and I could of course go in the route of just getting a few altar sabers myself, but I feel like diversion is going to be really important for my own for these installs that I'm going to practice on, like as much as diverse hilts, etc. And these hilts will after be up for sale except for the KRS hill, so KRS of course, because there was a donation from Delta, which I'm super happy for, and the Solus hold that I keep because it's a Shoto, and I wanted to have that thing for a long ass time. But the rest will be up for sale after that. Again, you can just treat it as just individual parts, just happen so to be soldered up inside the hilt and fully working. That's just a formality I have to go through because I don't want to upset people. Whew. Del says, holy cow, think about if you're just watching TV and your dad cause your overhead light just dropped on your head. Yeah. It happens several times a year here already in Hong Kong, and it's just it's increasing because there's so much stuff hanging everywhere. Like people are throwing stuff out of the windows. Like we used to live in a place called Mongkok where there was like a small balcony and people threw their medicines outside. My son was playing there, right? So the used medicine, used tampons, used food, like they eat their food and they just throw it out the window, glass bottles. Like, I don't want to be sounding disrespectful, but people here, they just don't care. Like, especially the elderly, they don't give a shit. I was one time walking out of my house and next to me there was a clock. Somebody threw a cooking clock out of the window from the 8th floor. It fell almost next to me, smashed to pieces, and yeah, ever since I'm very careful when I walk. I always walk under overheads to ensure nothing can drop on my head or my children's head. I have to educate them a lot, so like don't walk next to the overhead because yeah, stuff can happen. Yeah, it is what it is. And then traffic, of course. Traffic here is crazy. People cannot drive very good. The people here are pretty bad drivers, and I say that because I also saw another deadly accident. I told already before, I think, a deadly accident in front of me where a guy got hit by a car, instant death. And the other guy, the driver just drove off, and it was, yeah, he basically murdered that guy. And the police was searching for that guy weeks after, and they're hanging up signs. Did you see the driver? I actually saw it's the driver in the car, but I don't know the driver license plates, etc. It's crazy. So yeah, going to Holland, I don't say it's going to be per se better, the traffic, but I do feel like it's way better, but it's not that safe at times as well. It's not like going to paradise for sure. That's definitely not the case. There's a lot of bad stuff in Holland as well. But yeah, besides all that stuff, I'm just going to be super happy. I have my own space, workbench, I mean, I'm gonna be fully focused on making YouTube content and filling out my time with either lightsaber commissions, building Star Wars model kits, etc. Like, just fully focus on making Star Wars related stuff on this YouTube channel, and I'm super excited for that, because I will make a vlog video before we move out of this house this Saturday, and you guys can have a bit of an idea how small this house is, how difficult it is actually to get some space to work on. Why every video is so dark and shitty, why I'm sitting here. Like, you get a good impression what Rebel Chums have been doing in the last 5 years here in this house, and gives a bit of perspective that that the content will be improving further once I moved, because it just didn't allow me to do it, and it was a bit frustrating for me as an experience, that's for sure. So hopefully that explained also a little bit more about the whole lightsaber commissions that will come. I don't have the exact ETA yet. As you just saw, I first go to the saber build list, and I don't know the exact number that I should be aiming for yet of installs I do myself before I take up commissions. So I also want some feedback from you guys and as the community, like how many lightsaber builds should I do myself before it would be okay to go ahead to the next step and start doing commissions. I understand I'm a bit harsh on myself by going this route, by going through the public, because I also can just be quiet and start doing commissions like so many other sabersmiths with no prior experience, but no proven record at all, like how many builds he did before he actually started taking up commissions, etc. Because let's be honest, even a lot of well-established smiths that might have some feedback on my starting of this venture, they don't have any proven history either. So it's a bit of a two measurement stick stuff that I have to just soak up, absorb, and just say, okay, let's do it the right way. I want to do it. It's my choice. I want to do it openly and publicly. Let's suck it up. Let's do it. Let's do it what everybody wants me to see to do. Build up as much trust as well, and transparency, and yeah, hopefully that's gonna help me. Yeah, so anyway, that's it. That's what I wanted to share for the upcoming commissions. More will be shared when things are more formalized, but do expect in the end of first week of July that I'm gonna start building up all the parts and bits that I purchased for doing lightsaber commissions and my own saber builds, to actually start building up the workspace. And then once the workspace is set up, I got all the bits and pieces, then of course I still need to get some wires, gauges, some bits and pieces, some KR sabers to actually start installing these individual lightsabers, and then start doing it, and then start hopefully ramping them up, because I feel my list currently is a bit underwhelming. I'm sticking at still hanging at 7 now, so that number needs to go up by in my personal feeling, I don't know, another maybe 15 hilts, maybe 15 builds before I can say now I've shown you guys that I made several hill builds, so maybe I continue to the next step and start doing some commissions. I don't know, or maybe I do as an ongoing continuous thing. I just keep doing this. I keep buying cheap secondhand hilts, install them, and then sell them to fund buying other cheap secondhand lightsabers, to keep building that portfolio, and then just continuously doing that in the time windows when I'm not doing actual client commissions, and then keep selling off those lightsabers. I'm probably gonna do that, because the bigger the portfolio is, the more sabers I have to review and showcase, etc. The more trust and trust I gain and garner, and yeah, I think that will be a good thing. So yes, let's go for that. But yeah, if anybody of you guys have cheap hilts lying around, like you had like an idea of an Ultra Sabers install, or it's a beater saber that's I don't know, just not really worth to have much resale value anymore, like I can help. I can install it with stunt setup or not. Just keep it coming, keep it going. Send it back to you after the install, or whatever, or buy it off you, things like that. So if you're watching this offline or online, please reach out to me on my business email or my Facebook account. Sorry, it's below here. Rebelchumptv. That's my official commission YouTube account. It's not done yet. It's still very ugly. The banners are completely shit, and the information is still garbly gibbly. It's a placeholder for now till I'm actually ready to go ahead and go with the commission. So expect the Facebook page not to be perfect for another month or so, or half a month, because I don't think I want to delve right into doing the actual commissions beforehand. I reach like the number of 15 installed sabers by myself first, for example, something like that, because I need to have pictures and videos on that Facebook page, right? People cannot just go for me to commissions if they don't see what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, and then that's it. So if you have any comments, questions about the documentation I shared, or the public calendar, or what I talked about today, let me know. I'm very interested about it. Again, I want to reiterate lastly, I'm not here to pick business of other lightsaber smiths in the community. I'm not here to take their bread and butter. Another thing as well is I'm based in Europe. They're mostly based in the US, so that will work out perfectly. I'm not going to focus only on the European market, of course. I will be mainly focusing on the global market. So if you're in Asia, in the US, Europe, whatever, I will do your commission. But I want to iterate that I'm not going to try to steal business from other sabersmiths by leveraging my YouTube fame, which is not it's very insignificant, but no, just to reiterate that is not my intent. I also not here to just mess around and make some money on the side. I'm gonna do it as serious as possible, treat it as a business, and do it foremost from the point of view with the community, showcasing try to be a gentleman and show the positive side of sabersmithing and the saber community for anybody that watches this video, even if you never had a custom lightsaber before, or you're just a starting Star Wars fan and you're just thinking about getting a lightsaber commission or build. Give them feedback and give them choices, and yeah, take it serious. So that's being said. Of course, I'm a human, so humans make mistakes from time to time. Do expect that in the beginning, when I build my own sabers, I might make some mess ups, and I will fix that as well, of course. But yeah, it's just a human aspect. You need to master these kind of skill sets, and you won't be perfect from day one. It just no sabersmith was perfect from day one. It takes a bit of time. It's not rocket science either. Let's be honest. It's not rocket science either. It's not like I'm doing some voodoo crazy craftsman spaceship crafts technology. It's not that either. Let's be honest. It's fun. It's cool to do, and yeah, so that's it. Mundo says the first saber that I'm doing, I basically tried running before I could walk, but I am taking my time to do right and getting a lot of help. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I will have to go to the same paces and pains. That's just a natural way of getting into the hobby of installing sabers yourself. And one other part that I'm really going to emphasize on as well is the skill sets, transparency, and the business practices, but also the tools. What the actual tools that I'm going to use, because I mean you can be very good at installing, but if the tools that you use are really crappy crap stuff, then of course that is also a big well, not big. It's a factor that definitely has influence on getting quality installation. So I also spending a whole bunch of money now on getting like good stuff that's recommended by sabersmiths, saber companies from the community, because I'm listening very carefully to what they recommend. And honestly, it's not as cheap as I thought it would be. It's relatively expensive already. I'm already in the $400-500 US dollar for just a few bits and pieces. And yeah, it's just a must. I want to do it good, and so I need to get the good stuff, and that's just the bottom line. Yeah, so I will cover that when I'm in Holland, and we'll set up the stuff and showcase what I'm actually going to use and how I'm going to use it, because that is equally interesting to know, because you don't want to send it to a sabersmith that used a $5 soldering iron. Of course, they might be perfectly fine doing their job, but I mean, it would always be nicer to have professional tools to use to do these installs. It just gives you that extra work of makes it easier as the sabersmith to install stuff. It just helps. It just makes it easier, makes the life easier for the installs. I don't say it makes your skill sets better or something, like an MMO you get 10 extra stats points or something. That's not the case, but it's just a courtesy to work with good tools when you work on client stuff. So yeah, and for myself as well, of course, I want to have good stuff. I don't want to have shitty stuff. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the live stream. I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you for your feedback. And yeah, one more question I'm gonna answer before I'm gonna run off. Mundo says eventually would like to do an Alto Sabers with KR soundboard. Ooh, sweet, yes. KR Sabers actually has the excellent KR Sabers Eco chassis by God3D as well, which are amazingly affordable as well, like dirt cheap actually compared to a lot of other options out there for chassis. So definitely worth checking out the KR website. I'm not shilling for them, I don't get anything from KR Sabers. I just look at the website and every time I think, damn, there's a lot of good stuff there, which is really affordable. I'm really surprised with that every time. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the live stream. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this offline as well, please leave some comments about the whole stuff that I talked about. I really need your help. The better prepared I am, the better I get into it. I think also benefits for the community, because honestly, I think if we help each other, we avoid other Jordan Malls and so-called sabers and other issues that we had in the past as much as possible, to get a healthy community, because people like me will get into the space of sabersmithing or whatever anyway. So I mean, you might as well want to jump on and give some constructive feedback, and it's my due diligence once I'm into it as well to do that the same for upcoming sabersmiths or whatever as well going forward, because yeah, it's just good to have a healthy relationship and have a healthy community and industry. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. See you next video. Stay scummy. Bye bye.